Good morning, friends. Welcome to the fourth video of India's foreign policy. Today, we are going to deal India's foreign policy's basic principle. This is the age of internationalism, and no country can live in isolation, and we all are dependent on one another for one thing or the other thing. So, in that condition, every country tries to protect its national interest, and every country follows certain principles. Same way, India also follows certain principles, and those basic principles that India follows, we will discuss in this video. India's foreign policy. Basic principles were enunciated by him. Him continue to serve as the guiding principle for all subsequent government and prime ministers after him. The basic aims, the principles, and the parameters of India's foreign policy were outlined by Jawaharlal Nehru. From these lines, it is very clear that the basic principles of India's foreign policy was decided by Jawaharlal Nehru, and many governments came and went, but almost foreign policy's principles remain same. But now there is some shift in some of the old principles that India has followed in making its foreign policy. Let us discuss those things in detail. Foreign policy, basic principles of India's foreign policy. Number one is non-alignment. Non-alignment is गुट निरपक्षता या गुट निर्लेपता. It means not to become part of any of the bloc. There were two blocs initially when India got independence. One was US bloc and the other was Soviet bloc. US bloc had formed certain military pact and military treaty or pacts. Those were NATO, CETO, and Soviet Union had made Warsaw Pact, right? So India was not interested in becoming in any part of any bloc, as it would hamper its progress, its development. So India decided to follow non-alignment, gut nirpakta or gut nirlepta, not to be the part of any bloc, and it means non-involvement in international disputes, keeping aloof from military pacts, not to join either of the blocs, and faith in peace and freedom in the formation of its own foreign policy. And it was not negative detachment but active participation in solving world problem. Then number two was, but if you talk about current scenario, India has bit shifted in foreign policy from non-alignment to become ally of US, as in the many of speeches our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said so, right? Next is faith in international cooperation. India always believes in international cooperation. India also try to solve all the problems peacefully. International cooperation is panacea for all international problems, as per India. Panacea means दवाई या फिर treatment, right? So India believes in peaceful cooperation. That's why India, keeping this objective in mind, has entered into several peaceful and cooperative and treaty of cooperation with many of the countries of the world, that is Afghanistan, Myanmar, Switzerland, Turkey, Iraq, Egypt, Russia, Bangladesh, right? So India has also entered into many treaty related to economic, educational, cultural, scientific, technical agreements with many of the countries of the world. Then India follow the policy of look east. In the hour of need, India wants that we should help one another. East countries are, for example, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia. These are the East countries, Asian countries, SAARC countries. India want itself and these countries to help one another. And that's why India believes in policy of look east, not looking west. This means Western countries, instead of in the dire need of help, we should look towards Eastern countries, neighboring countries, instead of looking towards West, like U.S., Britain, right, other countries. So India believes in look east policy. Then we have cooperation with United Nations. India always have faith in cooperation with UN since its inception 1945, and that's why India has participated in so many international peacekeeping uh, efforts. So India believes in and always want to cooperate with UN so that world peace can be brought, right? And India also wants that dependence of United Nations on rich countries to be reduced, and India also wants that third world countries or Eastern countries should have due place and play important role in the United Nations. So India always cooperate with the United Nations. Then we have support to disarmament. India always supported disarmament. India has been member of disarmament committee also, and so India had asked to make a time-bound program for elimination of nuclear weapons that is danger to the world peace and world itself. So India support disarmament. Then we have solidarity and cooperation with Asian and African countries. Asian and African countries are most of the countries are very poor countries. So India wants solidarity and cooperation with those countries, and India wants them to help each other for the development also. Then help in freeing slave countries. When India got freedom, after that there were so many, countries which were still, uh, which were under some control of other countries, right? India also advocated free country for Palestine. India helped Zimbabwe, Namibia also. India also is in favor of Tibetan freedom. India also helped Bangladesh get freedom. So India helped slave countries to get free from the control of the country they are in. Then India has faith in Panchsheel. Panchsheel was signed in 1954 between Chinese Premier Zhou Enlai and our own Prime Minister of the time, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Panchsheel says, or it gives 5 principles: principle of mutual respect for each other's territory, integrity, and sovereignty. Then it also has second principle, that is non-aggression. Then non-interference in the affairs of the other states. दूसरे states के मामले में दखलंदाजी नहीं करना, दूसरे पे हमला नहीं करना. इक्वालिटी एंड म्यूचुअल कॉपरेशन, बराबरता समझ और एक दूसरे की हेल्प के साथ आगे बढ़ना. एंड टू एक्सेप्ट द पॉलिसी ऑफ पीसफुल कोएग्जिस्टेंस, और शांतमय ढंग से रहना. सो ये पंचशील है. उसके बाद इंडिया बिलीव्स इन यूज ऑफ एटॉमिक एनर्जी फॉर पीसफुल पर्पसेस only. India is the 6th nuclear power state, and it believes that most of the nuclear weapons should be, disarmed, and atomic energy should be used for peaceful purposes. Then we have developing friend relation with neighboring countries. Neighboring countries, India, neighboring countries are China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Maldives. So India wants peaceful relation with these countries always. Then membership of Commonwealth nations. Commonwealth nations are those nations which were once the part of dominion of UN colony, and India is still member of Commonwealth, as Commonwealth nations reminds us of our long slavery, as well as it helps these slave country help one another to in many situations. So India is still the part of it, right? Though many critics have raised objections regarding this resolution, but India still believes that it will help in peaceful coexistence, and for India to play a major role in the world, these countries can have can have a very benefiting role in cooperation, right? Then we have opposition to imperialism and colonialism. Opposition, imperialism and colonialism. Basically, imperialism and colonialism, if you talk about, these are imperialism को हम कहते हैं साम्राज्यवादी एंड colonialism कहते हैं बस्तीवाद, राइट। और भारत ने काफ़ी लंबे समय तक गुलामी झेला है, तो इंडिया इस और भारत इस बात के ख़िलाफ़ है। इंडिया इज़ अगेंस्ट दैट देयर शुड नॉट बी सच सम इम्पीरियलिस्टिक एटीट्यूड, और उसका विरोध किया है इंडिया ने हमेशा। तो भारत साम्राज्यवाद और बस्तीवाद के सभी ही रूपों का विरोध करता है। नाउ इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ इंडियाज फॉरेन पॉलिसी, राइट। देन वी हैव अपोजिशन टू रेशियलिज्म, ऑल काइंड ऑफ रेशियलिज्म, जैसे कि अफ्रीका में है काले और गोरों का रेस, मतलब एक दूसरे के है, इंडिया एक दूसरे को नीचा दिखाते हैं, या फिर दे थिंक्स देमसेल्फ टू बेटर वन, right? So Mahatma Gandhi was once in South Africa, and he had launched a movement to end racialism. So India has so many times supported this cause of doing away with racialism in the United Nations also. So India opposed racialism. Then we have support and respect to human rights. Human rights, Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted by United Nations on 10th December 1948. India has full faith in human rights, and India supports the cause of human rights also. India is also member of, was a member of Human Rights Council and it has been a big supporter of human rights. Then we have new international economic order. India supports new international economic order, and it also wants to support environment pollution also. So protect the environment, protection of environment, and wants that global efforts should be made to meet the situation, right? And it has so many times has talked about that. India also have been a part of so many climate summits also, and India wants that those countries which have taken advantage of environment should bear for the cost also. Opposition of terrorism. India opposed the terrorism also. It is attack on world peace, right? The World Trade Center that was that happened on in US on September 11, 2001, and India is fighting for almost 40 years against terrorism. That is also why we are opposing terrorism anywhere in the world. Then we have to get permanent seat of Security Council, membership of Security Council. India is in favor of security membership, permanent membership of Security Council, UN Security Council. Countries like Russia, France, Great Britain, US, and China are permanent member of UN Security Council. India being the largest democracy in the world, and the second largest populated country in the world, and the fourth military power of the world, and also the largest labor power in the world, young labor power. So India deserves to be part of permanent membership of Security Council. So India wants the Security Council membership also, and accordingly it has made part of its foreign policy rule. It is the basic principle, right? So India thinks that by becoming members, it would be in a situation to make it more democratic, right? So these are the main points of India's foreign policy. Hope you liked it. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. God bless you.